Welcome to Great Lakes Outdoors, everyone. I'm your host, Rob Trott. It's been a year since the loss of our 15-year-old Brittany Katie. In the past 6 weeks, this show was nominated for an Emmy in Writing and also took honors in an international competition when it earned a prestigious Excellence in Craft Award in Essay Writing from the Outdoor Writers Association of America. So you stay tuned for this award-winning encore presentation of a tribute to Katie.
Great Lakes Outdoors is brought to you in part by Orchard Chrysler Dodge Jeep, located on Van Dyke at 30 Mile Road in Washington Township. Orchard is a family-owned full-service dealership with a tradition of customer service for over 38 years. Orchard is also a distributor of Bad Boy buggies. The new XT series is so powerful, totally redesigned, and so quiet they'll never hear you coming. Rosie Brothers in Dryden, Michigan, representing Kubota's complete line of tractors, mowers, and implements for farm, home, and commercial jobs. Also offering their rugged Kubota 1140 and 500 utility vehicles with the comfort of a car and the power of an RTV. And by Exmark, spend less time mowing and more time hunting. Exmark is known for professional-grade equipment, zero-radius turns, and welded steel cutting decks from 34 to 72 inches. Built to run all day so you can spend less time mowing and more time enjoying the great outdoors.
A wise man once said, "We give our dogs time we can spare, space we can spare, and love we can spare. And in return, our dogs give us their all. It's the best deal man has ever made." Truer words were never spoken. On June 23rd, our beloved Brittany Katie passed away at the age of 15 years and 2 months. She joined our TV show in its infancy and has been a big part of it ever since. We were certainly lucky to have her for this long, and the hours of video we have of her in the field will help seal her memories in the caverns of our mind forever. It's said that those who are fortunate enough may have one exceptional dog in their lifetime. Well, I guess I'm one of the lucky ones then, because Katie was a very special dog right from the beginning. I hunted with my grandfather, Pops Davis, for over 40 years. And he was with me when I shot my first pheasant way back in 1960. All told, I hunted with 5 of Pop's fabulous bird dogs, a short hair, 2 Brittany's, and 2 Labs. Katie was my first real bird dog and didn't come about until after Pop's death in 1990. Look into the eyes of a puppy and feel your heart taken away and given back 1,000 times. And if you're lucky enough to steal the heart of a puppy, you'll have a friend till the angels take her away.
Katie was quite a dog. I met her when she was an absolute infant without even her eyes open yet, and knew her for her entire life. And she was really a spectacular dog.
Bird out there, get him up, Katie.
Yep.
Bird, dead bird, dead bird, come on.
A little farther down, about 15 feet.
Dead bird, Katie, dead bird. There we go, there we go. There he is. Get him, Katie. Nice job, gal, nice job. Right there, he's there.
She started out in life, she had lots and lots of natural talent. She was an intuitive hunter. She liked going after the birds right from the get-go. And she was doing everything great. She had one big disadvantage in the world. That was her owner.
Come on, Katie. Here, Katie.
I mean this in all good nature, but Katie, left alone, would have just rocketed into excellence. With Rob's help, it slowed her down a little.
Girl.
It didn't take long before Katie had me trained to do just exactly what she wanted to do and when she wanted to do it.
My little pup Katie, she's a Brittany, Ken, and she's a scat back, I'll tell you. We'll be hustling this afternoon. Wolf is great and stays right there. This one's fast. She knows she's a pup.
Reminds me of my 3-year-old son.
Yeah, I wish she had more. I wish I had half the energy she does, I'll tell you. She can really go. She'll go all day.
On Katie's second hunting trip, her real potential as a great hunting dog began to surface. She hit the snow-covered fields with loads of confidence and bundles of energy. She really impressed us all that day.
Look at that point, guys.
Yeah. Sweet.
Triple shot.
We all shoot?
We all shot.
I think we all,
Come on, Kate. See, she will pick it up. That's. Hey, Kate, come on. That a girl. Okay. That was a nice point. There you go.
Katie was certainly something magical to watch when she worked a field with the silky smoothness and tenacity of a pride of lions stalking their prey. I was always amazed how much Katie loved to hunt. I was just as amazed how much she liked people, and everyone Katie met certainly liked her. It didn't seem to matter if she was on a hunt or in the lap of a 300-pound Sunday afternoon gladiator. She always made a new friend or two everywhere she went. Katie was born with more charm and charisma than a mythical Greek goddess, and like a real ambassador of the gods, she looked for the best in people and usually found it. Katie's destiny was to become a star, not for fame and fortune, but because that's what was in her heart.
What do you think, Kate? You got enough standing around?
When Rob got Katie, she had no idea that she was going to become the dog of a TV personality. And she adjusted to that instantly. As a matter of fact, she was kind of a ham. She was a perfect dog for Rob in the sense that he could take her anywhere he ever went, and she was always a star. It always amazed me how many people knew Katie. Katie got to be a huge TV personality, as a matter of fact. And in the course of her life, she got involved with lots of other personalities and was really quite a celebrity. We had lots of fun, and she did a great job and was such a people dog that she was able to pull that off with great grace and skill.
Katie's celebrity goes well beyond who she's hunted with over the years. A lot of people don't know it, but Katie wrote her own newspaper column, and boy was she opinionated. Katie once wrote in her column, From a Dog's View,
"But you know what really gets me mad? When Rob or his buddies miss a shot after I've chased that big rooster for what seems like a mile.
There he goes.
There he goes.
You know these pheasants are really getting smart. They're survivors, and instead of playing fair and flying, they like to run a lot. And when they run on me, I'll stay on their tail until they flush. That's 'cause I'm in great shape. It's just that Rob sometimes is a little slow, just a little chubby, don't you think? And the birds go up before he's close enough. Other times when he does keep up, he's so tired he just misses. And that really ticks me off.
The birdie's definitely there, guys.
You know what I mean. It's worse than a fur full of fleas. I get even, though, by turning my head slowly and looking him squarely in the eyes. Talk about shooting daggers or looks that can kill. I've got it down pat. He gets the message, and I usually get my due praise. Really, though, overall, Rob is a pretty good guy to work for.
much as Katie liked writing articles for the newspaper, she liked meeting her fans in person as often as she could.
When Rob would take her to shows in her youth, I mean, like 4 months old, Katie would sit up on the chair or up on the counter, and it was like a big flag waving to attract visitors to the booth. It was wonderful.
Dogs are linked to paradise. They don't know evil or jealousy or discontent. To sit with a dog on a hillside on a glorious afternoon is to be back in Eden, where doing nothing was not boring, it was peace.
Rob would always get invites to go to the outdoor shows, and they would promote him, and they'd always put Rob Trott and Katie. So we'd set up the booth, visit with everybody, all the customers coming in, the spectators, and I would always remember they'd ask for Katie's autograph and not Rob's. So Rob would have to move out of the way, Katie'd be sitting in the main chair, they'd be taking pictures and asking for a paw print. While Katie was signing her autographs, Rob would always head back to the corner of the booth and kind of sulk, and that always made me laugh.
Even with all of Katie's fans at the outdoor shows, we still found time to hunt. My good friend Kevin Anthony remembers when we took a special winter trip to Pelee Island, Ontario.
We went in the winter time, which a lot of people don't do, and she flew first class. And pilots were impressed that the dogs handled, and she sat right in the seat and looked out the window, and it was a real trooper. Not too many dogs really get to get up and fly. You know, we were running about 3,000 feet. The dogs enjoyed themselves. We had a great time out there, and not too many dogs really get to do that.
Yep, Katie was becoming a real airborne veteran, and her first experience flying was yet another chapter in this phenomenal dog's life. But like all good hunting dogs, she preferred keeping all 4 paws on the ground and her nose on the scent of a bird. Her life was filled with one adventure after another, and when the Detroit Lions came to town, the excitement shifted from the gridiron to the colorful fall pheasant fields of southern Michigan.
Back in the early 90s, Rob and Katie would come up to the ranch. We'd do pig hunts, and then we always went Sunday down to Kim's, pheasant hunted. And we had 15 lions one time, so the Detroit Lions. And one thing they always wanted, Katie out there. They said, Rob, you can stay home and do the dishes in the lodge. We're going to take Katie and hunt pheasants. And the only thing Katie couldn't do is shoot the gun. If she could shoot the gun, then she'd be the star of the whole show. Rob would be running camera all the time.
Rodney, you going to come back next year?
I would love to. I had an excellent time up here. I was born and raised up here in Michigan, but this was actually the first time I actually got a chance to enjoy pheasant hunting.
Dave, this was your first one. Are you ready to come back and do it again?
I'll be back next week if you want to go.
All right, sounds good to me.
We had little Katie out there today. She's really doing well, isn't she?
She brought us 2 birds back that we hit and couldn't find, and she went and got them, and we lost one that we couldn't get, but we're gonna get back out there, and she's on track right now.
Even though the Lions rarely miss a block on Sundays, once in a while they too can miss a fleeing receiver.
Not good, boys. Faulty guns! Sights are off. She on another one down here? She on another? Yeah.
Katie's Tuesday hunts with the Detroit Lions were something special for both her and I. And who knows, maybe some of Katie's luck and charm rubbed off on the guys in Honolulu Blue, because in 1991, the Lions made it all the way to the NFC Championship game and haven't been back since. Making it to the playoffs is one thing.
Kate, you gonna have babies?
Having babies is quite another, and neither Katie or I knew just what to expect.
Katie decided to have her puppies. It was 12 o'clock at night. And of course I happened to get the phone call. I'm lying in bed and I get this phone call from Rob, and he said, Katie acts like she's trying to poop, but he said, I think a puppy come out of her. She's outside. What do I do? Well, of course, Rob didn't know too much. But it was his first litter. So I said, Rob, best thing I can do is just come right over, because I just knew over the phone wasn't going to work. Once I got in there and we kind of got a handle on things and she calmed down, things proceeded normally, and we had more puppies than I realized upon x-ray. So everything turned out all right once Rob calmed down and Katie, and we had a pretty nice litter. In fact, we still have some of the babies running around.
Pups are doing pretty good, I think, aren't they, Kate?
Katie was a fine first-time mother. I couldn't have been more proud of her. And the puppies? What can I say? They were as precious and cute and fragile as any of God's creatures. Was I a proud papa? You bet. The puppies grew like, well, puppies. They were born with bundles of boundless energy. I knew they all would make great dogs for some lucky hunters in the near future. How could they possibly miss with the spirit and soul of Katie and the watchful eye and expert training of Preston Mann? The pups are getting so big, they're still cute, and they're all smart as a whip.
After 8 tough weeks of raising 5 kids, I would like to tell you that I have the empty nest syndrome, but I don't.
I think I'll keep 'em all. Well, maybe just a couple.
It seems that Rob can't make up his mind which pup to keep, Duffy or Holly.
I think I'm going to keep the 2 best kids of the bunch.
So meanwhile, I'm stuck with 2 11-week-old bratty kids who are into absolutely everything and totally obnoxious.
And you know what? I don't think Katie will mind at all.
Holly and Duffy were both nice puppies, and we got them started, and then the big day came when Rob was going to get to go hunting with all 3 of them, the mother and the son and the daughter.
If it's true that a man works from sunup till sundown, then it's equally true that a Mother's Day is never done. Katie was a hunter, a mother, and now was taking on the responsibility of becoming a teacher. She passed along her good hunting genes to her pups, but now it was time for her to find out if she could pass along her experience as a great hunter to the 2 kids we kept, Holly and Duffy. At 7 months old, these 2 were proving they had what it takes to keep pace with a day's hunt. They had both been good students, and Katie deserved all the credit.
You see them 2 little pups point there? Another nice one. That's your first bird, Holly. Come here, Duff. There's your first bird. Boy, they locked right up on him.
From 5 to 9 years old, most hunting dogs are in their prime, and Katie was no exception. As tough as these wild birds were, it was now time to get the old master, Katie, out and give my pup Holly a break. It didn't take Katie and Lil long to get us into our first action.
Hey! There's one for you.
Take a look at this next bird as Katie and Holly double team him with perfect points.
Whoa. There he goes. Hen! Hen!
This grass is so thick I wouldn't know if there's... Oh, good shot!
After a short break, we went out again to give the dogs another good workout before the weather got too warm. Watch this beautiful double point, which Katie and Holly held for over 3 minutes.
That is beautiful, isn't it? And I'm telling you, it's 2 feet. They're both looking right at it. It's 2 feet at tops. Is that incredible or what? We should have timed this. It's probably been 3 minutes. I'm going to try to bust it towards you, Tim. Good shot, Tim. All right. Well, you guys see that point? How long did they hold that point?
That was great.
Good girl, Katie. Good girl.
You bet.
Oh, Katie's almost, well, she's 11 and a half years old, and look at this. She doesn't want to quit.
No, she's not happy with you right now.
No, I know. We're gonna go. We're gonna go. Okay. Listen, you're 80 years old. You shouldn't act like that.
She never wanted to quit. You always look for that in dogs because it's much easier to train a dog to come in than it is to motivate a dog. So we're always happy when we get a dog that's a hard charger. And Katie was the ultimate. She wouldn't quit. She had tremendous heart. She would hunt and hunt and hunt. And then when you wanted to quit for the day, she would be telling you, let's go somewhere. We might find another one.
At 12 and a half years old, we all knew Katie was on one of her last hunts. She's had a good life. And amazing enough, she's still... She's had a good life. On opening day of 2003, and at 13 and a half years old, Katie mustered up what she could for us on what turned out to be her last bird of her hunting career. Cal, this is really tough for the old dog, Kate, here, I'll tell you. We've been out about 20 minutes, and she worked a little bit there, but just, you know, the old eyes and the nose ain't the same. I'd sure love to have her get one more bird, you know?
Yeah, this is all set aside, so it's pretty overgrown for a lot of years.
Yeah.
Pretty tough.
Yeah. But no, she's getting tired already. Well, maybe we'll work our way back towards the truck here and gotta just one more somehow, some way here.
She got a whiff of one down in that little swamp area.
I know it.
Maybe we'll go back through there.
Okay. Kind of circle around to the truck and get the youngsters out, I guess.
Yeah.
She wanted to come so bad this morning, though, and I guess when we're 91 years old like she is.
Well, them dogs sense opening day.
Oh, absolutely. The orange comes out, and, you know, there was no way in the world she wasn't going to come, and I was going to bring her. I knew she wouldn't last long, but God willing, one more bird for her. Let's work our way back that way. I need to help you up, too. We're all getting old. On the way back to the truck, Katie locked up, and just maybe the old girl had found one more bird.
Katie. Come on, let's find one more bird. Come on.
Whoops. Watch it.
What's that?
Pointing. Right here.
She got a point?
Yep, she's sneaking up. Watch it. Good shot, Matt. Katie indeed found the big rooster, making my day complete, regardless of what else happened. That a girl. Come on. Bring him here. Come on. That a girl. Okay, Kate. Now we let the youngsters hunt. You did your job. You did your job. Good girl.
The care that Katie had was second to none, in my professional opinion, prolonged her life from the average 10 to 12-year-old Brittany, probably 12, more like a 12-year-old Brittany surviving, age survival to 15 is remarkable. And I've not had a Brittany that was over 15. And that's a tribute to Rob Trott, but also Katie was tough. And, you know, I don't think Katie ever realized she was a dog. We're going to miss her, but the time had come when Katie needed to rest. And I commend Rob Trott for not being selfish and picking it up and saying, it's time. He said, when am I going to know? I'll never forget this. Jim, when am I going to know? I said, you'll know. You're close to her. And one day, the day we took care of things, he looked at me and he says, you were right. I know.
Time becomes silk that moves swiftly and quietly behind us before we can grasp it and hold it and appreciate what we have. Katie was a silk scarf who bent with the wind and glided with great grace and dignity. At some point in each of our lives, we are given a miracle to discover and enjoy and cherish. Mine was Katie. Katie is now gone, joining her son Duffy in our loving memories. Katie's daughter Holly is now 10, slowed a little by her age, but she still has a year or two of Katie's tenacity left in her. And Gypsy, our newest 2-year-old bundle of energy, reminds me so much of Katie in her younger years that it's scary. She is very likely the last of Katie's bloodline. I have more than hazy day snapshots to remember Katie with. I have living pictures of my best friend moving through deep canyons of my heart as she works yet another wily ringneck to perfection on a crisp, clear October morn made special for both hunter and dog. Author Gene Hill once wrote, I can't think of anything that brings me closer to tears than when my old dog, completely exhausted after a hard day in the field, limps away from her nice spot in front of the fire and comes over to where I'm sitting and puts her head in my lap, a paw over my knee, and closes her eyes and goes back to sleep, I don't know what I've done to deserve that kind of friend. That same scenario held true in Katie's last hours on Earth. As I sat on the front porch swing in deep thoughts of what it would be like without Katie, she slowly walked over to me and her eyes told me she wanted up on the swing with me. As I lifted her up, she quickly laid her front paws across my lap and looked right into my eyes. As our eyes met, our minds once again became one, as they had so many, many times before throughout the years. Only this time it was different, and I'll swear that I heard these words as she drew her final breath. And my friend, when I'm very old and I no longer enjoy good health, hearing and sight, do not make heroic efforts to keep me going. I'm not having any fun. Please see to it that my life is taken gently. I shall leave this earth knowing with the last breath I draw that my fate was always safest in your hands. Happy hunting, Taters, till we meet again.
Closed captioning for Great Lakes Outdoors is provided by Burke Video Company. Burke Video, serving the Metro Detroit area since 1985.
Great Lakes Outdoors is brought to you in part by Rosie Brothers in Dryden, Michigan, representing Kubota's complete line of tractors, mowers, and implements for farm, home, and commercial jobs. Also offering their rugged Kubota 1140 and 500 utility vehicles with the comfort of a car and the power of an RTV. Exmark, spend less time mowing and more time fishing. The Quest is powered by Briggs & Stratton Extended Life Series or Kohler commercial grade engine option and 48 or 52-inch formed welded cutting decks. With Exmark, you'll spend less time mowing and more time enjoying the great outdoors. And by
Excalibur. It works here because we built it here. Excalibur.